Welcome back, everybody, to map number 3. We're on Cobblestone here, and this is going to be the deciding map between these two teams, as we'll see a knife round going away. This is actually the one of the maps where we saw a knife that was completely stagnant. They never actually engaged, and we never got our answer on whether or not if they had actually done a single point of damage to another. If it would have not been a random selection, as that was one of our bizarre matches, but nonetheless, SpaceSoldiers. We've seen them play this map a couple times in our tournament series before, and they've got a decent record. I think it's 2-1 or something to that effect. Taking down Kaz, and I think they had a bit of a trouble with LDLC, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, we'll see how this goes as Cobble. Some of the interesting parts of the map, the drop zone, the drop room specifically, very odd compared to other maps. There's not a whole lot of spaces on maps in general that replicate exactly the way the drop down in this map works.
Yeah,
so
I've tried to think, and I don't think there's any. I mean, most other positions that are like that have a ladder attached, not drop down.
Right. Yeah. The only thing that I can think is somewhere near it is the drop, like B apartments on Mirage. But even then, you've got windows to look out of, and you can take fights before you're actually in that drop area. So, and you could literally
get
just
up
stand
there
at the
without
top
a boost.
and yeah. So definitely an interesting aspect to this map. And then the B bomb site in general, we see a lot of T-side teams favor that bomb site, specifically because, again, you got that drop room to work. If you can take that most of the time, again, it's very hard for the CTs to hold, plus broken wall. You can definitely have a lot of success over there. And honestly, even if you just send one person over towards the drop room, send the rest of your players to A, you've got someone that almost cuts the defense in half if he makes it out of that drop down into connector. So anyhow, it is going to be, let's see here, SpaceSoldiers starting on the T side. So I would even give them a bit of an advantage starting on the T side on this map. What are you thinking here?
Well, based upon how the previous two maps have been going, and in my opinion, how Cobble recently is a T-sided map here in Go, I think you're right. SpaceSoldier, we saw both teams favor the T side, maybe not favor it, but score better on the T side. I'll save that thought though. SpaceSoldiers moving their way up into the A bomb site very quickly, but interestingly, they don't have the bomb with them. So it looks like they're committing 100%, but then the bomb is way back in their spawn. I would have liked to see him bring it a little more quickly or a little closer towards the B site, because it is going to be an eventual B fallback here. And Tugok's already in a pretty forward position over here towards B, and Gamers2 have entirely vacated the bomb site. Only member in position here is Michu, and he's about to meet a whole lot of SpaceSoldiers.
Yeah, I'm surprised that G2 hasn't really read this. They haven't heard anything in a long time at this A bomb site. They've got to know that something's up somewhere, and it's going to be Xantar's to open up onto Michu. They do have one quick rotating, and that's going to be Innocent. Gets taken down immediately, though, and the one-on-one fights, that is exactly what SpaceSoldiers was looking for. If they went into that A-bomb site, it's not going to be the scenario. But here in A, or rather in B, and one-on-one. Now only Mouse and Ho left. And in a 1-on-4, things looking a little bit bleak for him. SpaceSoldiers Xantar is going to hop around the corner, takes off his head. Xantar's, that's the one that, that's the player that we're used to seeing. 4K on pistol round. Big stuff from him early in the first round. SpaceSoldiers off to a great start.
Yeah, and already SpaceSoldiers reaching into their bag of tricks on pistol round. A lot of times we'll just see a straight-up execution on pistol round, oftentimes even a rush. But SpaceSoldiers looked like it was going to be 100% commit, and Gamers2 believed that as they rotated everybody save one who was almost in position to rotate over towards A preemptively. Now, SpaceSoldiers spreading out here, getting control of everything they can. Already a frag early onto Michu over at Broken Wall. That's two. Xantares claims another life. And now SpaceSoldiers just grouping up here into the B site, swarming all over, and just utilizing their strength in numbers. And still with the bomb down, they have no intentions of giving the bomb away early to Gamers2. They have no intentions of giving away any sort of easy lead. And a bit fast for my taste on their anti-eco, but hey, you can't really fault them if it works that well. Now Maniz, and actually this is a force buy. I entirely missed that from Gamers2. SpaceSoldiers treated it like a straight-up eco. They do get one frag out of the deal, but that is the worst possible upgraded weapon you could possibly get in this situation if you're Maniz.
Yeah, you're hoping for another one, as he's got a MAC-10. I'm curious to see if they actually check in this location. Tugux gonna go right past that crawl space area. Xantar's Umani's coming up from behind, but he's spotted out. Just waits a little bit too long. And that's going to be the round. So in a forced up round, definitely not a good situation for the CT side. If you're going with those upgraded pistols and such, you want to, at the very least, take a lot of weapons out of the other team's hand. And honestly, you're even shooting for a win there. But doesn't work out, and SpaceSoldiers make it through the forced up round. And one thing that I'm always interested to see is, do they find more success here on a non-invested eco round? And
we see that
a lot
so
of
much.
times it happens. It's ridiculous because they'll go for more gimmicky, aggressive play compared to when they have those upgraded pistols and armor. They feel like they should play a little bit more default, and I feel like even with the armor and such, you need to play the gimmicky plays. And you can see here that they're going to find exactly the same success that they found in that last round. A single frag on the round, albeit we're hoping for more there as well, but they're not going to get it. SpaceSoldiers now up 3-0.
And what I'm wondering is, SpaceSoldiers has gone towards B quickly with 4 other players on the past 2 anti-ecos. Do they continue that if they put Gamers2 on another eco, or do they use the mind games and go back towards A? I'm not too sure. Since even though Gamers2 stacked it, they still just bloodied all of them. Maybe they'll just keep going over there. Again, this comes down to making Gamers2 save once more. No ops on the boards for them. Now, switching gears, SpaceSoldiers heading back over towards the A bomb frag for Despy. That's Maniz. Nobody in the region to trade. Only Spiro at the A bomb site here, working down to his dead teammate's position. Hoping to catch SpaceSoldiers off guard, but SpaceSoldiers is really dynamic with their T side, always keeping Gamers2 in the dark, and now SpaceSoldiers want to pivot back over towards B.
Looks like that's the call, as Tugux with only. We've got a number of players in the back halls connecting over towards this B bomb site as they slowly move on over. Michu playing unbroken while they've got Mausenho actually up on this interesting kind of planter position. I haven't actually seen someone play up here, so we'll see if it catches the T's off guard. Michu's going to start his rifle up and takes down 1 as they're trying to work the broken wall location. Switches over to the USPS and has to get out of there. That's not a bad play, as, again, Mausenho. He's the player that I'm watching for, as I don't think they've spotted him just yet. Michu goes down. They're going to fall into the site. Innocent with 2. As Mausenho will come up with 1 as well. Xantar's now in a 1-on-3, and he's going to get dropped by Mausenho. And again, I really like that off angle that Mausenho played, and Innocent obviously coming up with some critical frags as well. They are able to bring the rifle round back into their favor. So 3-1. SpaceSoldiers not allowed to get too out of control, but they take this round. It is a bit of a swing here.
I think the reason we don't see that position too often is not only do you have to boost the guy up there, but 1 pop flash, if you don't have the broken wall area smoked off, and you are doomed if they peek immediately. I've seen it a couple. They actually tried it on the round before that with a stack, but we didn't get to see it because they just got destroyed, of course. Yeah. But yeah, it's an interesting spot. It could be deadly on both sides, really. SpaceSoldiers not deterred, or undeterred. There's a better one, as they want to keep pressuring in towards B here. Maus kind of trapped at drop down, and actually relinquishing drop down for Gamers2, and devoting a lot of their attention over here. SpaceSoldiers have been very dynamic in their offense, so I'm surprised they just continue the pressure here towards drop down. And Gamers2 pretty wise to it. Now falling off with some of that pressure towards drop down is G2, just keeping 1 player inside the connector. SpaceSoldiers still working up really slowly. Oh, that's a big one. Despy onto Michu. Trades a lot of his HP for it, but still gets the opener. What's the reaction by Gamers2? They are preemptively rotating 1, but is it going to be enough? Because here come the soldiers.
And Spiro is going to be able to take down E1 as he peeks up into the drop zone area, and I'm surprised Xantar's hasn't made himself known or anything. Finally, he's going to peek out of the drop zone area, and that was a critical frag from the op of Despy, as it allowed for the T's to have a lot more room on this B bomb site. We saw, again, Despy finds his frag, and instead of having those 2 players, because they knew someone was dropped down inside of that drop area, Xantar's was lurking around in there, and they dropped those smokes so he could get in. And once that frag comes out on Broken Wall, they're forced to pull one of the two players that were watching each end of the drop zone kind of exit area. They had to pull one back over towards Broken Wall. So that leaves a big opening now for Xantares. He's got a number of angles that have now opened up. And obviously he can't see all of that, but he's got to know that if any players die on that bomb site, especially if it's only covered by one player, you're going to see some rotations happen. And they're able to abuse that, and they find their fourth round here as Spiro is able to hang on to his rifle, but that round win would have felt a lot nicer for them.
Yeah, and this is a tough spot for Gamers2. They won their first round of the half. They lost the one after that. After losing pistol round, this is fantastic for SpaceSoldiers. Going to be able to keep the pressure on, get another easy round in on the board. Unless Gamers2 can somehow utilize this M4 of Spiro. And here's the answer to my question. SpaceSoldiers, undeterred, they're going to go for it again on the anti-eco round. Despite them doing this every single time it's been an anti-eco, they're just going to continue the pressure here. Gamers2 going with a similar setup. Can they get any kills? They don't even pop flash over. Easy frag for only, but Spiro does reply. Now, SpaceSoldiers know B, so are they going to quickly go back towards A is the question? No, they want to go into drop down and try to cut off the rotate. That's the plan. Doesn't work though. Spiro beats him there. Now SpaceSoldiers in a bit of a predicament. Well, never mind, as Tugux finishes off Mao's trying to cross back through connector. So now they know it's going to be a 1-1 split on the, or 3 versus 1 split onto either site they take here.
And Innocent doing work right now. The Broken Wall does not have help from his teammate at all. So it'd be great for SpaceSoldiers to take him down now. He's going to be benched as Spiro, last one on the field. 1v2 has a massive hit point advantage. He's got a couple flashes to work with, a nade as well, and again, being the HP marks, perfectly prime nade could take down one of these players, but he's going to check around very carefully, moving around in the back of the bomb site from the drop-down position. He blindsides Despy now in a one-on-one, but Tugux has the angle on him. He misses the shot, and now knows for certain where he's at. He peeks out, and that's going to be a 4K for Sparrow. Big play from him.
Super clutch.
As they really needed that round. Again, battle for the CT rounds is kind of the story of this map. So Gamers2 able to bring things back in their favor, and on a round that they weren't that well equipped. Good stuff from them.
Yeah, another chance for SpaceSoldiers here, though. As Gamers2 still not out of there yet. They still are on that save territory. It is a swing round now. So whatever team claimed this will now have the momentum. Now SpaceSoldiers. They're going to hit up B once more, and I'm surprised 3 times in a row on the anti-ecos that they went towards B. This time, finally bites them. Now they want to take into B again. Just don't want to give it up. Maybe they're not too confident towards A. They went there on their pistol round, but haven't since visited.
I wonder if they've just gone to A against a team before that had a ridiculously good eco stack, like in middle or something like that near the stairs, because there is that doorway creates a very close angle to play, like, just really close with a bunch of pistols and such. Maybe there's just once upon a time they've got this nightmare scenario where they were all decimated going for A. So from then on out, they vowed every anti-eco would be on the B-bomb site. And it kind of makes sense. There's a lot of long-distance angles, comparatively speaking. But at some point, I think changing it up.
I love the story you just painted, Chad. It was beautiful. Brought a tear to my eye. But SpaceSoldiers, what just happened? They come out Broken Wall as well as drop down. And a frag apiece. Oh man, E1 as well. What just happened? Gamers2 fell apart. SpaceSoldiers B take looking real strong. Xantares double as well. And yeah, I guess going back to what you were saying on the anti-eco front, there's a lot more unknowns to deal with at A. It's a lot more wide open of a space, a lot more spots to clear. So it does make sense that B side is...
All right, guys, we are back. Sorry about that. We had a technical hiccup here. One of our producers, their internet went down, and we kind of had to scramble and bring in a backup here. So, coming in big.
That's my strat, Chad.
SpaceSoldiers now on the CT side and Innocent. They realized how how good it is to go through the drop down. They decide to utilize the pistol round, but Space Soldiers, they've got a different story to tell on their pistol round on the CT side, as they are getting the bomb set, but it's a 4-on-2 retake.
Yeah, Spiro's in the down low position. Oh, they're wise to it. E1, he knows only with the last kill. And Space Soldiers take a very important pistol round for them, as now they're sitting pretty. 11 rounds to 5. They have the momentum here. As long as they can avoid this next force buy round, we're looking at a big score until those guns come out. And I love to see that strat, even though it didn't work. For Gamers2, I just love that strat. That's what I call it, matchmaking. 5-man drop down. It has a lot of merit to it, but at this level of play, I think you have to send one member kind of lurking either on the B or A side. Just one.
Yeah, you need another angle in there, as we could see that they kind of eventually made it through, but took a lot of casualties, and like you stated,
they're gonna do it again.
People, wow, they're going for it again here, right into the drop zones, and ours with 3 quick ones. Despy with the one as well, and E1, rest in pieces, did go down, but had a frag for himself as well. So Space Soldiers, apparently they've been studying how to play this on the CT side, as again, it's more or less a T-sided map. The name of the game is how many rounds can you get on your CT half. That is the battle, if you will. And G2, they did not get very much done on their CT half, but a pistol round pickup in the second round thereafter, where they don't lose very much. It's good stuff, but we could see that the bomb plant will give a third round bye to G2, so AKs versus a couple from us, technically at the advantage on the T side here.
Going for a spray onto Despy. I mean, easily the smoke actually wounds him down to 16, so that nice little start for Gamers2. And Xantares wants to take the fight down Broken Wall Hall. And I think a lot of this map comes down to is the drop-down area. A lot of teams have yet to master how to play it on the CT side. If Space Soldiers have that figured out, Gamers2, it limits a lot of their options. Now Gamers2, a big gun round for them. Haven't lost any players yet. They have wounded a player at A up a little bit, and now they're going to go try the A bomb site. Space Soldiers, oh, caught in the back is only. Where's his teammate? He's at middle, not taking the fight right away. Oh, he waits a little bit, only can get one with Space Soldiers. This is the problem. If you play so close up into B, rotating is really hard, because there's going to be smokes up, be a bunch of players in as you try to retake. They actually have made it out of upper, but it's not going to be enough. Only Xantares. This man can play, but not going to get it. Gamers2 win their first gun round, 12-6 now for the Space Soldiers. Hey, I just want to highlight that a little more. Is that if you play that far up into B, rotating is difficult, because if you lose both your players at A right away, the T side, all they have to do is throw 2 smokes down, and good luck getting through that.
Yeah, it's really difficult to get through that area in connector. Like you'd stated, once those smokes are down, and oh man, Despy going with the Nova play. And I gotta imagine he's gonna go somewhere near, oh, he's actually playing stairs near A. I would have suspected a drop-down play, but they're actually working a boost here. E1 put up on the shoulders of Xantares, and there's actually 2 gucks to get dropped first. E1's been spotted out. I don't know, playing a nice headshot angle there. He actually gets sent down to 7 HP, but comes up with the frag, and that's the important part, is now only Despy. No, and I mean 2 players, not only Despy left, as they are both going to fall simultaneously.
Got him, Chad.
So that's going to be that, 12-7. G2 make it through that round without losing a single member, and that is fantastic for them.
Man, you got hit by the hard pun there. No avoiding that one. Only Despy. What is this guy talking about?
It's hard to get out of that one.
Right? I would have got caught as well. That's hilarious. But now the battle of the T side begins. How many can Gamers2 get on the board before Space Soldiers reply? Gamers2 not sending as many players towards B as Space Soldiers usually did, so slight variation between the 2 teams, taking it slowly, Gamers2. And let's see how Space Soldiers can contend with drop down. This time it's Maus for Gamers2. Seen a lot of entries here in the drop down area. Also working Broken Wall, smoked off by Space Soldiers, and it was a pretty late smoke. You see Xantares on top of the spot you're talking about. And can he finish off the kill? Getting dropped a little low. Space Soldiers, that's E1. And onto Michu. Now looking for the drop-down play. It's staggered, their take on to B, though. If they're trying to work both positions, they're not, at the same time, they're not doing a very good job of it. Now, contesting drop-down. Xantares takes the fight, wins it. Aggressive stuff from Xantares, but has claimed the advantage for the time being for Space Soldiers. And now Gamers2, I thought they're in a bit of trouble. mid, but they're just going to pivot back and try to hit up this B-bomb site.
Yeah, and like you highlighted, would have liked to see maybe Michu working at the same time as those drop-down players, as E1, his focus was sent over towards the broken wall, at least while Michu was being dealt with. And now it is going to be the B-side play you spoke about. Mausenho, nice shot as E1 goes down. He's 0 onto Despy as well. Tugux comes up with one of his own, so it's a 2-on-2 here. Tugux and only, and Tugux goes down 1-on-2. Bomb not set, they've got 15 seconds, but Mausenho is going to drop him from the other side of the statue, and G2 keep their winning ways. They're in the driver's seat here, 3 in a row on their T side. They do put SpaceSoldiers on eco, so it should be another round underneath their belt. And again, battle of the T side. SpaceSoldiers, they had that convincing score line, but we can see that slowly but surely G2 chipping away at it.
As I was talking about, Gamers2, even with 3 rounds, I thought they had a bit of a chance, but even getting more than that, even better. 5 rounds, much better than 3, especially on how tight these T-side score lines have been. Well, SpaceSoldiers still gotta be a little worried here. Xantares goes down to the nades, working up the broken hall slowly here. Broken hall, broken wall. I meant the broken wall, but Innocent as well. Getting a frag for G2, slowly making their way up, realizing it isn't too heavily stacked, so safe to traverse their way up. Meeting each other in the connector is only in Maniz. And now only Despy here, and he doesn't get any kills. Alright, gets 1. Better than nil. Here the SpaceSoldiers here, so minor economic damage done, but that economy is booming. And now another gun round for SpaceSoldiers. And Gamers2, they haven't shown any weakness on their T side, really.
They haven't. Quite honestly, the only weakness that we saw that you could really paint a picture for is their 5-man drop-down play, but they haven't really utilized that, and for good reason. Now with rifles in their hands, they don't really need to go for that gimmicky 5-man in one location play. So they've been working a little bit more spread out, focusing on multiple locations at once, and you can see heading back towards this B sign. They're going to be sending a nice smoke over top of the broken wall here, and actually a number of them. So the way they're smoking this up, ooh, I like it. It's gonna be a nice wall of smokes, prevents half of the defense from helping out E1 inside a drop zone. Not gonna be able to help fend this off, but these do have a nice smoke in place, and they get a second one down. Spiro though comes through the drop zone, and now these folks gotta work against them as they have to battle through them to find these other CTs on the other end. But Mausenho, 2 big frags, as now it's only and Despy stuck in connector, 2-on-4, and a nice Molotov's gonna delay this even further, and to the point where they just decide to head on back and save.
So now the storyline that's developing is, it took Gamers2 a while to figure out the offense of SpaceSoldiers. Will SpaceSoldiers ever be able to figure out the offense of Gamers2? Similar problems for both teams, being dropped down. This time E1, or this half, E1's playing drop down for the SpaceSoldiers. Eventually, Gamers2 started putting 2 there, but they still couldn't hold it for a while. It was around, 10 rounds, 11 rounds into the half before Gamers2 started really figuring out how to stop the SpaceSoldiers T side. So it's a race for them now. And Gamers2, a couple rounds from tying it back up. And SpaceSoldiers with not enough money to buy here. Just sprinkle some pistols on top of that M4. And why not go for a crazy B stack here if you're SpaceSoldiers? In all likelihood, that's where G2's heading. And what I'd like to see SpaceSoldiers do, just try to get another look. Try to figure out exactly what Gamers2 is doing at drop down, which is the problem. Instead, just going to continue to stick E1 there. And I'm not sure what the answer is at the drop down. I've tried to play that position. I just get destroyed all the time. I just make my teammates play it. So I don't know what the answer is to drop down. It's such a unique angle.
It certainly is, and I don't think anybody's really figured out the perfect prime location for it, as it just really is difficult. Some teams might just leave it wide open and hope that they can find the frags on their way out. The problem with that is that there's so much kind of space. There's 2 different exits, one that gets them in the connector, and they can kind of sneakily get over to that A-bomb site, and obviously the other one wide open for the B take. But Xantares going to try and save this weapon, finds a second frag for himself, and just going to hang out in the back halls here. He's got a number of weapons in these cases if he does run out of bullets, so we'll see if he decides to bring out one of those swords or daggers or whatever he So want to call them, but it's going to be
Bring
Mountain
the
Hotel.
sword into the bathroom.
I don't know if that's a good idea, but Xantars. Oh, I like this location. I've never actually seen someone hide there. Very cool stuff from Xantars. Gonna take that one away and utilize that in my days, but 12 to 11. 1 round differential as G2 have strung a number of rounds, 6 in a row now. SpaceSoldiers, they were able to pick up those 2 early rounds, but ever since AKs were in the hand of G2, they've been putting in some dominant rounds thus far. So round 24 underway. Once again, we do see SpaceSoldiers fully equipped to deal with this 2-Gux with an op in hand. And he's actually going to play near the outhouse in back Z. He's got Xantars pushed up near Broken Wall. And it's interesting that they do focus a lot of players near this Broken Wall when a lot of the success has been the drop zone area. So it's kind of, it's one or the other in a lot of respects. And Xantar's now going to maybe move back and move towards E1. Nah, now he's back towards Fountain. Xantar's is everywhere.
Yeah, this man's just ghoul. Just can't predict where he is, and just to add on to the whole, save that thought though, they line up for E1, they switch around for SpaceSoldiers, no! The whole burns through the fire, so still evened up by Xantares from the grave. Still in this round, SpaceSoldiers. Now getting the bomb down. A little spread out for the Gamers2 players. We got Spiro as well as Michu. Now making their way in through the doors. Here they come. SpaceSoldiers, 1 on each side. They got to spot out Michu immediately. Despy spots out his head. He takes him out. Now just Spiro here. Despy, is he going to clear it? Takes the fight. Goes down. Spiro, go ahead and flash his way out. Doesn't take the fight. Only looking for him. Spiro's not going to be able to get out of there in time. Now going back for the bomb. It's planted in a fantastic spot. Only has to figure this out. He peeks the correct angle. Spiro, is he going to peek? Oh, gets the kill. That was so huge for the SpaceSoldiers, but Spiro is going to finish it off with some very clever play in the end. And E1 did get a frag on the drop down. That was the best it's been for him so far. And just to add to the compiling list of problems that SpaceSoldiers has at this point, not only do they have to figure out how to stop this B take, they have to win consecutive rounds, maybe even 3 rounds in a row to break the economy of Gamers2. And we're getting to the point in the match where it's they don't have a lot of rounds to do it anymore. They have to figure it out now. Otherwise, Gamers2 is going to mount this crazy T-side comeback.
Yeah, and once again, it's Spiro that does the dirty work. We saw that 4K for him on the retake on the CT side, and then even just being a key player in saving some weapons in some of the rounds thereafter. He's showing some big things, and in that round, big 1-on-2 to end things. Nice boost here on the A-bomb site currently. We got Despy up on the wall. I don't know exactly what to call it. It's kind of where you would exit from long A. It's got a very nice angle. He's definitely vulnerable sitting duck, if you will. But the thing is, we just saw it there, and he's not expecting it. And they find 2 frags. They've got the advantage, but it is another B-bomb site take as Michu getting the bomb set. Nice pop flash from Xantars. Actually, a number of them coming in. But it doesn't necessarily gain them any ground, and Xantars goes down. E1 trying to push through with smoke. He decides to fire a couple bullets and then fall off as 2 players for the CT side stuck in the white rock, and now it's only, and Mausenho drops him. And 13 to 12, it's Gamers2. They take the round lead, and once again, we see a battle for the CT sides. Only 2 rounds for SpaceSoldiers, and apparently the 5 that Gamers2 came up with, it's been enough at least to get them to this point.
If only, the woodpecker size. You know that, Chad?
No, I got no idea.
Oh, maybe it's just an American thing they taught us in schools as part of some literature. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I've said only so much, it's been in my head. But SpaceSoldiers here, realizing the desperation of the situation, they go for the buy. All promises across the board, and now the 1 round that Gamers2 doesn't go towards B. SpaceSoldiers is left with lesser equipment over here towards the A side. They've actually entirely stacked that B bomb site, save 1 player. That's Despy. He's got a lot of work to do. And now SpaceSoldiers rotating back towards A preemptively before Gamers2 has shown them much. Interesting decisions unfolding here by SpaceSoldiers. And if they go to A and stack this would be the ultimate read by the SpaceSoldiers, because Gamers2 has been punishing that B site. And the one time SpaceSoldiers decide to stack A, that's when Gamers2's heading back. This is brilliant by the SpaceSoldiers here.
Only he spotted a player or 2 in mid, and Maniz actually spotted him as well, and something gave him the cue that they are heading on back. Some smokes go down on this A-bomb site, and Yeah, heading back through the back halls. They leave Michu as the lone player, and he's just going to provide a little bit more noise, try and keep some players on this A-bomb site. It's going to be two Gucks to the knees as they try and work their way over, only with one as well, and they're getting stuffed now with this B-bomb site. This fake did not work out for them at all.
E1,
Innocent. Mouse and Hone Innocent, though, make it interesting as they get 2 frags for themselves. Now they're getting the bomb set.
Space Soldiers need this round so badly. Mouse and Innocent left to break the hearts of the remaining Turkish side. Coming in, Mouse with a perfect peek. Oh, not good enough, though. Xantares takes him down. Just one up. That's Innocent. Very... Get around the corner, gets Xantares. Is this another 1 versus 3 from Innocent? He only has only to beat. He gets on the corner and only gets the frag. Does he have a kit, though? It's not going to matter. And Space Soldiers win another one, but look at that economy on Gamers2. They're buying out the rest of the half.
Oh yeah, they are rich as could be, as we see only just barely gets that defuse in. But doesn't make a difference. Round win is a round win, and they finally get their 3rd round on the CT side. Again, they were 10 at half, so 3 rounds for them. This is it's a must-win here.
Highlight the mind games once more here. So Gamers2 tried something different, right? The first time in a long time that they tried something different, and they got shut down. Now, the Space Soldiers, they're going to realize, okay, they tried something different. They're probably going to go back to their normal take. So if you're Gamers2, do you adjust or do you go back to what's been working? It's interesting decision time.
Exactly, as it looks like you have a number of players back towards B to try and work this drop zone once again. Flashes rain over from Michu towards that broken wall area, and now all 5 players have collected towards drop down and broken wall. So working the split here, and the read from Space Soldiers is good in that they realize that they're probably going to go back to, like you were stating, that strat that worked so well for them, but E1 can't find the frag on the Sparrow. So drop room already open. Spear is now down. Xantares, though, comes up with 1, instantly refragged by Innocent, as 2Gucks now takes down Innocent. He's in a very vulnerable spot, does drop the bomb carry, creates a 2-on-2. Spear is still alive in the drop zone, going to provide another angle of attack as his teammate grabs the bomb.
Oh, Destiny's got to get in there immediately. Now he's spotted up by Spiro. Disastrous position. He's got to rush down Spiro right now. Goes for the kill. 12 HP remaining. Mao peek on the Destiny. Oh, that is it. 14th round for Gamers2. It was looking so good from Space Soldiers. Xantares getting his kills through the smoke that everybody loves to talk about. But in the end, not enough. And Gamers2 now in beautiful position to take it. And that was the must-win from Space Soldiers. After winning their first round in a long time, you gotta put them together. Otherwise, you're just rocking only pistols, and they're actually gonna save for the tie here. Interesting. We don't see this much anymore. Teams will often just force buy, given the strength of the pistols, instead of waiting for a little bit better weaponry. So I'm strange to see Space Soldiers making this choice. And Gamers2 taking 2 frags, and yeah, we usually don't see that often, Chad.
No, not at all. And I think one of the reasons that they're going for this is that the score lines are so close. Again, you let them get to 15. You're at 13. You only need 2 rounds to get there. Get that full buy-in. Not a full buy, but they're at least going to save and get whatever they can in the next round. I like the decision. Going to be only left on the bomb site. B is able to take down 1 headshot onto Innocent. Gets traded off, though. So 15 to 13. Again, this is where the buy now comes in. Last chance for Space Soldiers. Gamers2 on the 15-round mark, about to close out this best of 3, 2-1 fashion. Space Soldiers, again, last chance territory. They need to find a W in this round, bring it to 15-14. Even then, they still face off against a heavily equipped T side, as they've got so much money to play with. So where do they go as we see 4 FAMAS make it on the field for the CTs?
And Gamers2, when have they done this strat? Never. This entire game. And now they're going to bust it out on the round that could give them the win. Space Soldiers do have 2 inside of A here. Ro8 is coming in quickly. Gamers2, have they made another mistake? The last time they made an adjustment, they dropped the round as well. Innocent from the long gets only Michu onto Destiny as well. Look how low G2 is, though. Xantares lines up 3 of them. Big 3K for Zan. And now 1-on-1. 2Gucks. Where's he coming from? Michu, very suspicious of everywhere. Has no read, no inkling. 2Gucks could be coming from. Taking it so patiently, waiting for 2Gucks to make the first move. 2Gucks being
On
Bomb.
one.
Two gucks.
Tugux.
I'm sorry.
You're lagging just a little bit. I'm sorry, Laser.
Sorry,
I'm sorry,
Chad, take
man.
over, bud.
I'm sorry. As the one-on-one continues, Michu moves up towards long A, thinks that he's got a read, but Tugux playing this so patiently, knows that he just needs to wait for the bomb to get set. As he can hear him start typing in, he knows exactly where he's going to be, as the bomb site is the name of the game, and Tugux peeks up. They both get eyes on each other. Tugux definitely less equipped in the situation. One tap from Michu could be the end, as they're just going to be cycling ring around the rosy here. Tugux is going to be able to find Michu. He finds an angle, but Michu ends his life. The one shot comes in, headshot onto Tugux, and 16-13. I'm sorry to take away that final clutch, but yeah, we had lost you for a good 20 seconds there. I'm like, Laser, where are you, bud?